Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make this grungy foiled Christmas card. Hey everyone, okay. We're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to be doing some ink smooshing. And I'm going to be using my Lavinia inks. And I'm going to start out with the mulberry. I'm just going to tap it on here. Okay, I'm going to get my paper wet. I'm going to get that wet. And I'm just going to start smushing it on. Okay. And I want to lighten this up a bit, so I'm going to water it down. Because I don't want it too dark. And I'm going to give it a dry. Okay, whatever isn't dry, I'm going to grab a paper towel. Just going to dab it on. I'm just going to leave this here because I'm going to use it again. So what I want to do now is I want to just give it some squirts and lift. Again, you can use any kind of water reactive ink. You can use Simon Hurley, you can use Catherine Pooler, you can use Tim Holtz, whatever kind of water reactive ink you have. Okay, now I'm going to just give this a couple of squirts. I'm going to give it a couple more daubs here. Make sure I get all that inky goodness up. And I'll go ahead and wipe off. And I'm going to give it a dry. And I would like to dry it so it'll lay flat again, because I'm going to again do some lifting here. It's dry enough, doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to give it some squirts with my Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer. And I'm going to lift. And I want just a little bit more lifted off of here, because I want to be adding some more colors. Just going to let that sit for a few seconds. Turn my paper towel around. And lift. There we go. Okay. Now, let's give this just a bit of a dry. And I don't mind this dark spot here. Not a bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with the Sundance. I'm just going to grab the corner there. I don't want a bunch of this. I'm going to water it down. I'm going to spread it out like that. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm just going to go in a few places and grab that color. Okay, go ahead and wipe that off and give this a dry. I really want to lighten this up, so I'm going to really douse this guy. See, I want the color fairly light. These kind of look like Easter colors, don't they? That's okay. So I'm going to get this kind of dry. finally, I'm to go in with some Della Blue. Same thing, just going to set that down onto there. I'm going to take my water sprayer and I'm going to use my fingers and spread this out like that. I'm just going to go in and grab the color. Okay, I'm going to wipe that off and give it a dry. I like to try and straighten the paper out as I go. Okay. And now I'm going to go in with my sprayer. I'm going to make some big drips. And I'm going to make some small drips. Let that sit for a second. You want to let it sit so that it'll have a chance to lift. I've got this one dark spot right here. Let me see if I can water it down any. I don't think I can. It'll be all right. Yeah, there we go. I kind of let that off. And give it a dry. So it's a back and forth process, just like any other ink smooshing. Okay. And I want to get just a little bit of focused color here. So I am going to take my brush and my mulberry. I'm going to tap it off really well. I'm just going to come in a couple of spots and bring some of this pink back. Okay, I just really want some more of this depth of color in here. Tap it around here. And you could really use any colors you wanted. And I just want the depth of color. Good with that. Go ahead and wipe this off. And back in with the water spray. Any spots you want to kind of water down, give it a good deep spray. And then dry. Paper towel and lift off any excess ink. Wipe this all off. And then I want to make sure this is good and dry. This paper dries pretty quickly. Want to dry it so it kind of flattens out, doesn't have any big bumps or bumps in it. Okay. Kind of reshape the paper. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. And I think I want to keep mostly this side. I'm going to trim this down to the 4-inch mark. Make sure this side is nice and even. And then I want to do 5 1/4. And trim off this edge. And trim off this edge. Okay. So there we've got our paper. Just work a little bit more with it, get it flat. Okay, so this time we're going to be using, where is it? I put it away right here. I'm going to be using TCW Shimmery Goodness. And the reason for this is because this stuff foils pretty well. So you can see it's pretty globbery. This is just a piece of press and seal on here. And I'm going to get our favorite stencil out, which is the Joy, Hope, Love, Peace one. I'm going to get my little spreader knife. I'm just going to spread this on here. Try and get a fairly even coat. I don't want it too thick because I'm going to foil this. I want it to dry fairly quickly. Okay, get any excess off. Close this back up. That's not the lid. I'm going to pull up my stencil. Okay, and I'm going to be right back while I go wash these. Okay, I've got my stencil clean, set aside to dry. I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to set it aside also to dry and clean up my excess Shimmery Goodness paper towel. Yeah, this stuff is thick, isn't it? All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my mink, my mini mink. I'm going to plug it in and get it warming up. Uh-oh. Or not. Is it not plugged in? Okay. Maybe I'm not going to be using my mini mink. Maybe it's decided it to quit completely. Try going the right way with it. And I'm going to set it to the number 1. Let's put this mulberry ink away. And through the magic of, I did this last night, here's one that's already completely dry. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a foil for that. And I think I want to use gold. Now this is, I want to say this is H&H foil. Let me grab a one of my transfer sheets here. And grab my scissors. Let me just get that out of the way here for a second. Get this out of here. Okay. I want to stick to my silicone there that's a little damp still. And put this pretty close to the edge. also going to trim. Come on, get on there. And on there nice and straight before I trim. You know what? I'm just not even going to trim. I'm just going to lay this down in the transfer sheet. Pull my mink. And I'm going to run it through. Now you can run this through a die cutting machine, just a die cutting machine without heat. And I do have this on very low heat. And no need to dust the, no need to dusty, because we're just basically sticking it to the shimmer paste. We'll see how I do. Looking good so far. Pull this out and cool it down some. I'm just going to take my rag and wipe off the foil. Okay. Ready? Here we go. It's kind of grungy. I wonder if I run it through once more. I don't think so. Okay, so I've got my foiled, kind of grungy. Let me get this out of the way. I don't know how happy I am with that, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. And see, I got something stuck in my mink, and so I took it apart, and I think I messed up the rollers. So now I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to edge this one. I'm going to go back with the mulberry again. Yeah, I want to do it with mulberry. I'm just going to take my brush. I'm going to dab it off here, and I'm just going to deepen out the outside edge here. Since it's going to be grungy, I might as well go for grunge. Only I like my grunge to be colorful. Okay. Takes care of that. Now to decide what to go on here. Now remember, in the last video, I had already made this joy. You know what, and let me just take and wipe this off. Wipe any excess ink off of the foil. We made this joy, but it doesn't. So this foil kind of color is gold, but not really gold. Not as gold as this, so it just doesn't, it doesn't go well. What do I want to do here? You know what? I think I'll do a 3D snowflake. I've got my little bag of snowflakes that we made the other night. Just pull them. Oh, I do like that one on there, don't you? Okay, there's that one. Definitely not the silver. There's the pink. I'm gonna go with this one. And then let's do, you see, this came out pretty grungy. Let's do I'm going to use a sentiment of some sort. This one is just a little merry. Now it's just not going to fit. It's not going to do well. Let's see how our peace on earth might look on there. Yeah, oh, I'm good with that. All right, so let's find a card base. And I think we'll just knock everything over here. Let's see what I've got. I'm kind of thinking white, don't you? Yeah, definitely white. And I think I will pop this up. And what I have here, and y'all know how I am about dollar store, okay? I've got these that came from the dollar store, and they're really, really thin. You see how thin these are? I'm gonna grab a pink one. You see I've made a whole bunch of backgrounds here that we're gonna do stuff with. And I'm gonna trim this down. I want to just I think these are already 4 inches, yeah. So we'll go 5 1/4, just a hair under. Okay, just trim that off. And this will raise it up just ever so slightly. And it's very lightweight. So I'm going to go ahead and lay some glue. Come on, glue. Lay some glue here. And if you haven't seen my other videos, the Snowflake is this 3D impresslet. And lay some glue. Pick it up. Oh, better flip that over. Lay it down evenly on here. And definitely with this fun foam, this dollar store fun foam, you've got some wiggle room with your glue. I'm just going to pull that so it's not hanging over the edge anywhere. Give it some love there. See, and that's just going to pop that up ever so slightly. Okay, so, and you could do 2 layers if you want it popped up more, or you can use thicker foam, or you can do it flat, or you can use foam strips. I mean, just use what you have. Whenever I go to the dollar store, I look for stuff that I can use as other stuff. Okay, lay this on here. And I am going to lay an acrylic block down on that, because it is foam and it takes a little bit longer to dry. Just lay that block down on there. We know we're going to do the snowflake. And the kit, the snowflake comes with smaller ones too. So honestly, I could put more than one. I think I'm just going to stick with one though. And we need to find a sentiment here. I've got stuff galore here. Oh yeah, I was going to do the peace on earth, wasn't I? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll stick with the peace on earth. I do like that. Although, I'm not sure how I feel about how I had put a yellow tone on there. Let me see what else I have. I have sentiments that people have sent me. Ugh, I've got a mess here too. There's Merry Christmas, too big. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Yep, that works. Okay, give this just one more little push here. And I think that I will mat this on something. But what do I want to mat it on? Oh, I have an idea. I've got this little piece that I trimmed off. Let's just go in here with the mulberry. Fill it in. And what I like to do is I like to glue this down and then trim it off. So I get nice even edges. Just gonna throw some glue on here. Make sure there's no glue sticking out. See here that I'm going to line the line up right with the edge of this thing and trim it off. I'll do the same on the other side. Make sure it's lined up. And then same on these sides. Make sure this is even right here in this little grid. Yeah, I like. Let's go ahead and ink up this white, what's left on my brush. So I don't have any white paper core showing through. All right, so let's get our snowflake pinned down. Uh-oh, don't you do that. And I want it to pin all the way down since it already bent like that. That's okay if it moved on me a little bit. Press down on the middle. Let's go ahead and just set this down on here for a minute. And while I'm waiting for that, let's go ahead and grab some blingy things and decide what I want on here. I've got my favorite golds, but then I've got these as well. The bouquet lights and the sunlight. I think I'm going with the gold. Going for gold. Since this is kind of a gold, I don't know what the heck kind of gold color it is, but let's just pour some of these out. Okay. think I want to pop up my sentiment a little bit. I've got these foam tapes right here that'll work. There's my dabby tool. You know what, though? I have this, you know what? Let's use that instead, so it's not popped up super high. I'm just going to hold it on here and trim off the excess. Like that. Oh, my scissors get off. Oops, might make a mess here. Make sure there's no glue on the edge sticking out. Again, it takes the glue a little bit longer to dry on the foam. Right, we'll get our little wax pencil and decide on placement of some of these. I'll have a big one down here, medium one up here, medium one over here, there. A small one right here, and another small one right here, I think. Yeah. Okay. A little dab of glue. Kind of hard to see, they kind of get lost in there. So I would say, all in all, I wasn't terribly successful with foiling the Shimmery Goodness. It kind of went rogue on me. Well, you just take lemons and make lemonade. Right? Ink away, and there we have another. You see the foil? Another foiled Christmas card. That's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you want to see more videos, you can hit that subscribe button down below. I'll have my supplies listed in the description box, and if you want to be notified every time I upload a video, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.